Your perfectionism is sabotaging your progress. You want to know how I know this? It's because I've been there myself. Good morning. My name's Corey Logaitis. Welcome to Coffee with Corey. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Today, I am going to be covering how to overcome your perfectionism without sacrificing the quality of your work. Right? So again, I am a coach, strategist, and professional speaker. I help business owners reduce their overwhelm. And if you stick around with me today, by the end, you're going to learn the number one improvement that you're going to see when you finally give perfectionism the boot. So really juicy stuff. Before I go ahead and dive in today, if perfectionism is something that you struggle with and you know it's holding you back in your business and in your life in general and your goals, definitely send me a message because I'm here to help. Before I go ahead and dive in, good morning. Ravine is here. Hey, it's been a while. Wainish, good morning. Super culture training. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys joining. It is early. But yeah, so I wanted to share a story this morning to kind of demonstrate my struggle with perfectionism. So though I'm known as being a business strategist, what a lot of folks might not know is I don't have a business degree. I actually have an art degree. So I went to a fine arts college, the Maryland Institute College of Art in Baltimore, Maryland. And when I was a freshman, I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I was all excited to get started. And my favorite class was this one class with a professor named Dennis. I forget the exact name of the course, but it was a kind of like a mixed media general fine arts class. It was intended to help all the students kind of find the media that they like the best. And at that time, I was primarily a draftsman and a painter. I like to draw and paint. And anyway, in this class with Dennis, he one week had tasked us, our assignment was to do a self-portrait. It had to be a life-size giant self-portrait. I was so excited for this because I loved doing self-portraits. I had been doing them all through high school. And so I figured that this was my opportunity to really shine. And I spent the entire week working on this self-portrait. I painstakingly took every single detail. I wanted it to look exactly like me. It was, life size to being the exact height as me. It was perfectly rendered. It was done in charcoal. It was beautiful. And just when I thought that, it looked good, I'd give it 24 hours. I'd look at it again and I'd say, no, it's not perfect. I need to go back in and change it again. So I probably spent, not even kidding, over the course of the week, at least 16 hours on this charcoal drawing. And I come into class and I'm so excited to show it to Dennis and show it to all of my classmates. And I get a wonderful critique on it. Corey, it looks amazing, it looks beautiful, it looks just like you. And at the very, very end of the class, Dennis then tells us what our assignment is for the following week. And the following week, the assignment was to rip up the self-portrait and create a brand new piece using the pieces of the self-portrait. I was absolutely horrified. I had spent so much time getting this piece to the point of perfection, and there I was that I had to destroy it. And it mentally took a toll on me. And I put off, destroying my masterpiece. I didn't want to destroy it. So the following week, I waited and I waited and I waited until the very last moments. And I eventually ended up, ripping it up with tears dripping down my face. I was like, I don't want to do this. And I ended up ripping it up. I don't even remember what I ended up doing with it. But the entire process really taught me something really important. And it's that if I were to look at that painting today, or that charcoal drawing today, that would by any means at all whatsoever be my best work. So there I was spending all of this time in perfecting something that ultimately I was told to toss and trash and turn into something else. And it wasn't even my best work. So it was so much time and so much energy spent on something that ultimately I was going to end up transforming and learning from anyway. So the number one lesson that you could take from this, if you are a perfectionist like myself, because it's still something I struggle with each and every day, is that action is better than quality, right? Because ultimately your quality is going to improve the more and more you do something. And, done is better than perfect, right? So had I gone through and just left it the way it was and had, then had to go through and destroy it anyway, I would have saved a lot more time and ultimately learned the same lessons. So, but your perfectionism is ultimately holding you back because it's causing inaction, right? It's action you could be taking to learn, to ultimately be able to do something better, right? So you're so focused on striving on it being perfect now. The real beauty of this whole situation is by learning to let go of that, you're setting yourself up to ultimately be able to learn what you need to do in order to achieve perfection in the future, not necessarily right now. So hopefully, I really hope you took some value out of this. And wow, there's a lot of folks that have joined this morning. So thanks so much. I did see a few questions I wanted to drop in. So Raveen is saying there's the quarantine going on and we're getting plenty of time to pay attention to hobbies. He has one hobby that's meaningful, poems, quotes, and stories. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Definitely send me a DM. I would love to hear some of your poems, and your quotes and stuff. And his question is whether or not he should make a new page on his Instagram to share that content. So that's a fantastic question. So in terms of branding and marketing, really you have a choice. So if you want to be your personal brand, kind of like me, I share everything on one page. I am Corey Lowe. It's everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's easy to find me. That's fine. Or you could create a, specific brand for your poetry if you don't want your face to necessarily be behind it, and share it there. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. The most important thing is to just stay consistent. Again, it's not about the perfectionism, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. So make a decision, one or the other, whether you're going to keep it on your personal page or share it on a business page, and then just put the content out there because you're going to get that perfection through the consistency. Right? Hey, $1 Million Sunny. Great to meet you. Proactive Threat Solutions. Hey, thanks for joining this morning. All right, so if nobody has any questions, sometimes when I do these Coffee with Corys, I get questions. Today, not so many, even though I did get a great one from Raveen, so thanks for joining there. If you struggle with perfectionism, like I said, and you are a small business owner and you know that this is something that is holding you back, for what you ultimately could be achieving, definitely go ahead, drop me a DM, send me a message. I am here to help you. Let's talk about it. So hopefully you all got some value out of this and you have a fantastic week. I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.